done. So now we do want to sort of like add materials, render it, make it look a lot more realistic. So I've got a few things that I've added. I've downloaded some images to make it look a little bit more realistic. So what we kind of want to do is go for these sort of graphics here. I've got a few decals we're going to insert as well. So we're going to jump back over to Fusion. Let's come up here. So we'll do the toothpaste first, shall we? So let's go to construct an offset plane, and let's just click on that and drag it out a little bit. Click on OK. And go to start sketch. And we kind of want to make it look like that little toothpaste, sort of like the three colours that you see. So go to arc, 3-point arc, and let's just drag up there. Then let's offset. Oh, escape that. Then let's offset that line, drag it down. Let that and do finish. Then let's go to modify and let's go to split faces rather than bodies. So faces I want to split are those ones there. Just make sure it's selected on both sides, and that end bit. Splitting tools. Now we have to do this in 2 separate times. You can't split with multiple tools, annoyingly. So we're going to click on that one first, and you can see where it's going to cut. Okay, so you can see there's a line there that shows it's been cut, and we're going to do the same again, but our sketch is gone. So we're going to go back over and go to our sketches and go down to the bottom and turn them back again. So just turning the eyeball on turns our sketch on and off. Let's go to modify and split face again. So we want to select there and there, and splitting tool. This time we want the bottom line. Again, you can see where it's going to split. Okay, now I can turn that sketch off. And the only reason we're doing that now is so it will let me put multiple colours on there. So let's just do that now. Let's go to A. Now, for the most part in this one, I've sort of done like ABS, and then I've sort of altered the colours a little bit. So you can bring these colours in. So at the minute, if I do that, it's going to do the whole body because we want to have it up here as faces. So make sure you have faces selected. ABS. So now I should be able to drag that in. No problem. It'll come into InDesign. Let's drag that in. Rotate it around. Okay, so then if I want to right click duplicate because I want to change the color of this one, and let's go for like a light blue. So you can see it looks a little kind of toothpaste-y. Let's bring that over here. Zoom in so we make sure we're getting this little bit of detail there. And then we want to duplicate again. We want like a red. Again, a nice light red. Let's try like that. Yeah, nice little pink. Now I want it to actually go here. And then let's bring the white in the middle. So it's starting to look like toothpaste. A little bit more. Don't worry, these lines will not be visible once you render it. So I'll show you now. So it's always worth remembering to jump in and out of render to see how things are looking. So let's just go to design and render. So you can see it's starting to look like toothpaste. So let's jump out of there. Okay, so now let's try and do the overall design of the tube itself. So we've got this image here, so we're sort of going to get like this sweeping sort of line. So let's go to create sketch, and that rotate round, and let's do an arc, 3-point arc, and let's sort of go like there, there. Enter, and then you can keep altering these a little bit, make it look a little bit more refined. So we've done that, and then let's do a couple more lines across. Escape and do line again. Like that. I'm going to finish sketch. So we're going to modify split face, not bodies. So we need to select which one's going to split. So we're going to split this one. Let's then also Just going to split here a little bit as well. Let's rotate it over. I'll split this side as well. And there. It doesn't intersect with there, so we're okay. Okay, and then we're going to say splitting tool. At first, let's do this one. Okay, again, our sketch disappears, but you can see that line is now on both sides. So let's go down, turn on our sketch again, go to modify and split face. So now we want to split. We've got a few more faces to split. Once we start splitting them, it ends up being a little bit more things you need to click on to split. But it's definitely worth doing because it'll make it look a lot more realistic. Splitting tools. Let's pick that line there. Take a little second to load. So again, you can see a new line appears on that body. I'm going to do it one more time. Let's just check it's a bit on the bottom. Yeah. So let's go to modify, split face, click on these faces here just to make sure. Split tool. Oh, we need to make sure we split this face as well. Split tool, this line, like that. Let's turn off our sketch. So you can see now we've got those lines, so we can start to add those colours. So we sort of want to go a nice bright blue, bright orange, and then we've got some decals. So let's go to A for appearances, and so we know we've got some white. So let's first of all, what we're going to do, let's go to duplicate and let's make that a little bit of a brighter blue. Okay, that looks about right, and we want to have that on this bit here. So let's drag that again, make sure it's on faces, not bodies. Like that. Let's rotate around, do the same on the other side. Let's duplicate that, double click and change that to a nice red. Done. Bring that over. Then we actually want to have these need to be red as well. So when you do fillets, it then makes new faces. So that's why we've got to do this multiple times. Just check we've not missed anything. No, that's fine. Let's rotate around the other way. Just drag it on. Again, just make sure you've got faces selected and not bodies, otherwise it will try and do the whole body. Because although we split the faces, it's still one solid body. Okay, so we've got those colours there, and the rest we just need as white. So let's just drag our ABS on white that we've already got. So you see that's definitely starting to look a little bit more realistic. We'll look into render in a second just to see how it's looking. Okay, and then let's just go to bodies and just drag that on there and say remove appearances. Now we want to keep them, so it's not going to get rid of. So we could have done that and saved ourselves a bit of time, but it's not a big thing. So let's just come out of there and let's just go to render. So there you go. It looks a lot more toothpaste tubey. Looks like it's been squeezed. We've got some details on there. Last little bit, then we'll add a little decal on there. Go back over to the design. Now before we do that, let's just check we've got two bodies. So we've got this body. Okay, so let's go to new component. Let's call that toothpaste tube. Hit enter, and then let's just drag those in. Okay, so we've got that there. So then let's go to insert and decal. Now I've already got a decal saved. I'm going to insert, and then if I go to my file, I should have this one. If I then click on the surface I want to do it on, go to the top surface, rotate around, and because we've got chain faces on, it's going to try and keep it wrapping around, which is quite useful. Rotate around a little bit more so it looks a bit more realistic. I'll make it look a bit bigger. Let's bring it down here. Hit OK. Let's just see how that looks. Yeah, that definitely looks a lot more realistic. Let's try and move it to the side a little bit so I can run edit, feature. I can drag that over. So it's distorted, so it's tried to wrap it up to make it realistic. Let's have a look. You can see it's tried to like wrap it over those spaces, so I quite like that. I think that looks quite good. And let's do the same on the other side. Let's go to design, wrap over. So because we've done chain faces, which is why I don't normally like it, is try to wrap it around the back as well. So let's just see what happens if we insert a decal on this side, insert from computer. Let's try this one. Let's see what happens. It might not. It might be that we just move the decal a little bit. Okay, let's have a look and see what happens. Yeah, that's still visible a little bit. It's probably messed up on that side. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Let's just go back. Let's edit this feature. So then actually, rather than have it over those faces, which would still work if we only wanted it on one side, let's bring it over here. Okay, and let's do the same on the other side. Let's edit feature, and let's bring that over this way. And every turn, chain faces off. Ooh. Okay, let's just see what's happened on this side. Okay, let's play around. Let's just take chain faces off. Maybe we can make it a little bit smaller. Let's have a look. And let's just do the same on this side as well. Let's edit decal. Make it a little bit smaller. Bring it into position. Oh, no, I don't want to stretch that. Let's turn chain faces off. And hopefully now that has gotten rid of any of the extra. Yes, that's not on there anymore. So let's just go to design, render. So there you go, you can see that looks a lot more realistic. So I'd say that toothpaste tube now is done. So that is like the first part of the little project we're going to